All right, guys, welcome back. And I'm here with Madam Mahlet.
You said my name correct.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very good.
I've been practicing a little bit.
Good.
Maybe we should start with the meaning of your name. What does it mean?
Gift.
Gift.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And actually, they also use it in the church. It has a lot of different meanings, but
Yeah.
my mom told me it means a gift.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome, everybody. I'm here with the gift. This is good. Let me just say I really appreciate for you accepting sitting down here with me, and it's my honor to have you here today. So I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Wow,
Yeah.
I appreciate. So let's begin. Well, maybe there might be people who do not know who is Mahlet, the gift. Yeah, would you mind to tell a little bit of your history, like background, and who are you?
Sounds good. Where do I start? So yes, my name is Mahlet, last name Takla Mariam. I was born in Ethiopia, but I was raised and grew up in New York. So I lived most of my life in the States, mostly New York, went to college in different states, Minnesota, but finally graduated in Baruch University, New York City. I decided to, now I live here, obviously in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
When did you move back?
2008.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it was never my intention to move back, but when I met my husband in the States, that was always his plan, and I liked the idea. I said, why not? So yeah, I've been back now since 2008. I am married. I'm a mother of two teenage daughters.
Oh.
Yes.
That must be beautiful.
Yeah.
Looking at you, yeah.
Thank you. And sibling of 8. We're 8.
Wow.
Big family.
It's a
I'm
big
the
family.
eldest one.
African family.
Yes, typical, right? So I'm the oldest one, and I have 2 sisters and 4 brothers. No, 5 brothers. Yeah.
5 brothers.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. What about when it comes to your career? Like, I know what you do, and we're gonna talk about that in a bit. But I'd love to know the background of that. Like, where did it begin? And yeah.
Good. So let me start. Before I moved here, while living in the U.S., I was part of a lifestyle magazine called Tadias.
Okay.
It was an Ethiopian American lifestyle magazine. When they first launched, I mean, I guess fashion was always in me, and they didn't have a fashion section in the magazine. And so I proposed to them to do, my background is marketing actually. So I said, why don't I, partner with you guys to do the marketing, the sales, and then promote, fashion, the diaspora, not diaspora, but the Ethiopian Americans living in the U.S. to promote the designers there on the magazine. So I was part of that magazine, Tadias. Now it's just online. They don't print anymore. Yeah.
So you're there in the States, and then this magazine, and you are suggesting that you want to have all these like Ethiopian designer to present their work through magazine, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
I was living in DC at the time.
All right.
So DC metropolitan area, I should say. It's DC, Virginia, Maryland. There's a lot of Ethiopians.
Oh, yeah.
And I did come across some, going through events, I was able to find some designers. And so that's where the idea came about, promoting designers there. So I started doing that. And then when I moved back in 2008 here in Ethiopia, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, honestly. It took me about a year or so.
Yeah.
And with my former partner, who's Kenyan also, she was here at the time. She was a VJ or a host on Afro FM, the first English station. And I just came up with the idea at the time. I said, there's not major big fashion weeks in the continent that I knew of anyway.
Yes.
Of course, there's one in South Africa at the time, but I said, why don't we organize start a fashion week here? And she said, it's a brilliant idea, let's do it. Yeah. Initially, actually, we wanted to do both music and fashion. They kind of go together,
Yeah, exactly.
So we started putting the proposal together. And then at the time in 2008, Magic System, if you know them, they were very popular.
Exactly.
Big group,
Yeah.
So through her connections, we started approaching, and then it was too expensive to bring them here. We said, why don't we just put the music aside? Maybe we should just focus on fashion. So yeah, that's basically how it started in 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
What was the goal when you started that? And also feel free to mention the name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Linda Murithi. If you're watching, she's still based in Kenya now.
Okay.
She's not here anymore. But yeah, the goal was really not just to organize fashion shows only, but really having an open conversation about the industry, because it is an industry.
Exactly.
And having that conversation, how do we build the industry, And even in the beginning, we didn't even know where to find the designers,
Exactly, yeah.
2008, 2010, of course, we can Google and find some here and there, which we managed. But here in Ethiopia, it's not big. So it was a bit difficult, but we were able to find about 6 designers at the time from Ethiopia. We had one from Tanzania as well then, from Kenya, from South Africa, from Somalia, but they were based in the US. They were on Oprah at the time, actually. They're very famous. We were very persistent. So they finally answered, and they came, Matano twins, if you know them. I don't know if they're that big anymore, but yeah, that's how it all started, basically. Yeah.
Wow. 2010, and right now is 2022.
Yes.
It's like 12 years.
Yes.
Right? So what would you say about that goal that you have, and it has been 12 years, like how much you've achieved what you wanted?
A lot, I have to say, because I do see the growth within the industry, meaning there are a lot more institutions now, schools, and artists. And funny thing, years later, of course, I now we hear about Lagos Fashion Week, and then Arise Fashion Week, and they kind of all started around the same time. About then 2010. There was also Africa Fashion Week London, and so forth. So definitely, there's a big change since then, for sure.
One thing that I was really impressed is how many Africans are involved in your fashion week, the Hub of Africa. And I think this is one of the ways, I was talking to your brother, that this is one of the ways we can actually, unite our people, because everybody wears something, right? I don't know. How can you rate my fashion today?
You're not wearing African, no? We have to change that.
I got to change right now. But honestly, because everybody wears something.
Yes.
And I think for the things that for the thing that you're doing and some other fashions out there, I think it inspires a lot of people, right, to be proud of who they are. Because I had an opportunity to be in your fashion week and seeing, the African clothes, right, like beautiful girls walking by and handsome guys, representing Africa. And I was just thinking that, man, this is a beautiful way to unite people, actually, because everybody wants to look different. Everyone wants to feel different, right? So most of the time when you talk about, I'm working for One Africa, right? I don't know if you One Africa. And when you talk about this, most of the people, they always think about politics, right? That, this is a political idea and all this stuff. But, when I came there, I realized that, wow, this could be an amazing strategy.
It is, the way what brings people together, music.
Yes.
Definitely fashion, I think.
Food,
right? That brings people together. So for One Africa, there was a musician, I don't know if you know her, Munit. She's a very popular singer. She sang about One Africa years ago, her vision back then. I see it coming, it's exciting. And for us with the event, as you mentioned, although this year we didn't have that many other African designers, because of the timing, normally our events are in October. We pushed it by about 3 months and decided to do it in January, and we decided to keep it mostly Ethiopian for this particular event. So if you notice, the majority of them were Ethiopians. But when we started the event, for what you asked me earlier with Linda, it was not to just have Ethiopian designers, but definitely, like I said, from the continent. So we've always had designers from all over. I mean,
how many countries have you guys worked with?
Oh my God, a lot, a lot. From Gabon, from East, I think Kenya, definitely Tanzania, Uganda, So many to mention, honestly. South Africa, Morocco. We also had designers from Morocco in 2018. So yeah, we've had a lot of designers from all over the continent. Yeah, and the name Hub of Africa came from that because the AU Summit was just happening this is the hub, isn't it?
It's the hub, yeah.
So that's how the name even came up, Hub of Africa. Yeah.
Well, can you explain a little bit about that? Like, so basically, like when you guys are coming with the name, you're like, okay, we're gonna call Hub of Africa.
Yeah. That's exactly, yeah. But we had an advisor at Disalamayo. From the beginning, he was one of our advisors. And when we were thinking about, so what do we call it? Addis Fashion Week, Ethiopia Fashion Week, or, you know, because it was going to be an African Fashion Week.
Yes.
And this is the hub for, you know, with the African Union being here. That's how the name came up, Hub of Africa. So, yeah.
Wow. And what is the plan now? Are you guys going to continue to do here in Addis? I've seen there's an event coming up on 26th, if I'm not mistaken. Is it 26th?
No, the next one will be in October.
October.
Yeah,
October.
We're done with this one for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been an annual event since 2014. The first 3 events were, you know, due to many not really understanding when we should have it. The first one was in September. Our second one was in April. Then we said, okay, we need to have a set month and, you know, an annual event. So we looked at all the other fashion weeks that are taking place globally. And so we don't clash also with other major events. We said maybe October is the best. So since 2014, it's been in October.
Do you guys
every year.
Do you guys have a plan to do Hub of Africa in other countries?
You know, that's been a question many times, so we might have to think about that.
Exactly, because I believe you guys have a lot of fans out there.
Yeah.
Since you've worked with a lot of different countries, even right now, I believe there are designers watching out there, and they're like, you know what, I want to make, you know, I want to present my ideas or my design in the Hub of Africa. Is there any procedure if somebody want to do that or want? Yeah,
you know, normally the way we do it, we have our regular designers that we invite always every year to participate. And then we also have application where designers apply to participate as well. So that's been the process.
And they can apply through your website, right?
Always, We always announce when we are taking application. So if they follow our pages, our Facebook or website, they apply and they participate.
That's beautiful. So what is next?
What is next? Planning October already. You know, but so I think for the last few years, we've been promoting the industry. Now the business part is just as important, you know? Some of the, I would say most of the designers that have taken part on our platform, whether from Ethiopia, from Kenya, whatever, they've gone global, you know, because now they have documentation of where they've showcased and their brand is promoted. It's already out there. So Anyango Mapenga is one of them. I just saw that she's partnering with a very popular retail store. She's from Kenya. So yeah, I mean, it has opened doors for a lot of designers. Mafi, which is one of our, Ethiopian designers, that's also going global. So yeah, step by step, I think the awareness is there. African brands are being respected. They're getting buyers all over. But I think we also have to think continentally.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we need to do more continentally for sure.
So when you look at Africa, right, and we are talking about this fashion industry, right? Is it fashion industry?
It is.
Where do you see, what do you think we are lacking when it comes to that particular area? Like you see, okay, I think this is the gap and this is where we have to do something about it.
Yeah, there's a lot. Just to mention though, for a lot of the emerging designers, I should say, some of the financial aspect, they'll tell you if you interview designers where their challenges, where they get stuck. So there needs to be a proper institution or association, which there is, so where they have one voice through an association for any policy changes, you know. Some of them do get sheds, meaning a place to do production where the government supports that type of thing. So I think we've fashion was not seen as an industry, I would say, in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But now the importance of it is getting there, because we've been very consistent promoting this industry, creative industry as a whole, you know, not just for fashion designers, but even for the modeling industry. I think we've done a lot through our events, because now there are schools, agencies are opening up here and there. So now there's that respect for the modeling industry as well. So yeah, I know it's but it's getting there. Baby steps.
You know, exactly. You say something that like back in the days, it was kind of like not recognized, this industry. And from my perspective, like the way I see it, you can correct if I'm wrong. I'm also thinking about those local designers, right? There's just normal people who maybe they don't have really platform to show their work, but we have a lot of them talented, you know, across the street. But you know, and I was impressed when I came to your fashion show, because I met some of them and I had a conversation with them. They're here and I was asking, hey, where are you guys, you know, doing your work? And they were explaining. But what I've seen in so many fashion shows, or like, it's kind of like a cool thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people with status and people who, you know, they have big names. What would you say, how do we help these local designers? People who, because the matter of fact, a lot of people are wearing actually their clothes because they can afford because of expenses, right? You know, what would you say to those people?
I think that to support these designers, although some might be expensive, it's not cheap, you know, because a lot of it, especially if you've seen Ethiopian fabric, is hand woven.
Exactly.
So that makes it, you know, more expensive. Yes. But again, I think we don't have to always think about just the hand woven, you know. Designers can think about using other fabrics. Could be denim. You can be a denim designer, like Calvin Klein started with jeans, you know what I mean? So we have to think outside the box and start, you know, making more clothes for also the mass, I should say. And the designers have to also continue, you know, of course, keeping that heritage and, you know, the craftsmanship of African heritage and stuff, but doing more and making it more affordable. It's not easy to open up a shop. It's very expensive to own a store. So maybe even starting baby steps through online. But there's a lot of gap that we still need to fill in, but it's getting there, you know? Yeah, for sure.
I love that. I love that. So this could be maybe the advice to the people who are watching right now. If you give them like 3 advice, like top things to consider if you are a designer and you want to make, you know, through this industry, what should they focus on? That's three top things.
I think the first thing is they should know and decide which target market they want to, you know. Right? If it's young professionals in their 20s, what they can afford to buy and stuff, they have to consider that. Know your target market, right? When you're coming up with a brand. Branding is everything. We had, I don't know if you came on Thursday, we had a mentorship program this year. So we selected 10 designers to connect them with established designers, and also they, most importantly, they did a workshop, intensive workshop for about 8 months. So and what I saw was completely, they've completely transformed, because I know where they were before, and the workshop was really for them to identify who they are as a designer, what it is that they want to, you know, present. So I mean, it's endless. Like, we have like how many hundreds of million people we need to dress, right? Just in Ethiopia alone, you know? So you have to be creative. You can be an undergarment designer. There was one designer from the Mentee that is doing swimwear. We don't have any swimwear designers in Ethiopia right now. And her stuff is absolutely amazing, birabiro. So we told her, you need to focus on that, do that, you know? So just finding your true self and what you want, and think outside the box. It doesn't always have to be with the traditional. There's many different things we can do, I think, to dress.
Well, I'm loving this conversation. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like it's going too fast, right?
But let me ask you. I know there are some designers in Tanzania. Like I said, the Swahili Fashion Week organizer, Mustafa Hassan Nili, he's been to our event in 2017. So I've seen. Maybe you can tell me, how is the industry in Tanzania?
That's a good question. You know, to be honest, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been in any one of those. Actually,
Okay.
it was my first time to attend US.
Oh, okay.
That was my very first time.
Okay.
And I was really impressed. I was like, why I'm not doing this often, right?
Yeah.
I got to change my fashion a little bit.
Well, I saw you were wearing Ethiopian top that day.
I love that.
Did,
you know,
you represented.
I wish I
you
took
need
it
more.
today. You don't have any gift for me today?
I wish, you know, I'm not a designer, otherwise I could have brought.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
our light.
Okay, come back.
This
Leave
is
like that.
This is Africa, right?
This is Africa.
It's normal.
This is Africa. The same thing
normal.
happened in my country.
Yeah,
It's, you know, it's normal.
It's normal. It goes out, and at least it came right back, so it's good. The fashion industry, as you see, within the music, a lot of West African designers, they do wear a lot of very colorful and...
You know, that's one of the things that I've got criticism a lot at time because of how I wear, right? I realized that, I mean, you know, I need to change, you know, my my fashion a little bit. So
But you said you just came back, right?
Yes,
you
I just came back.
Yeah.
So I want to ask all the design out there, if you guys have something for me, please give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can advertise it.
Yes.
So I was answering your question. I haven't had a chance to visit, you know, the fashion show, but I think, I mean, when I go back, I would definitely, you know, go and check it out, and maybe even find, you know, interview to do with them. But I think I see on the news in Tanzania, it's getting there.
Yeah.
Like I think almost every month or like 2 months they have like an event.
Yeah.
Somewhere called Mlimani City. All the time they have that, and they use artists, like a lot of artists, like in the music video and all the stuff. Yeah, they use them a lot. So I think, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there in Tanzania. Yeah.
I think for East Africa as a whole, I think we're slowly getting there.
Yes.
I know West Africa, they're on a different level because I've been to Lagos for GT Bank Fashion Weekend. It's like unbelievable how everyone comes decked out with all African different, you know, it's a statement.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, but we're getting there. We're a bit more conservative in Ethiopia, you know, with fashion, but let's change. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so.
So people are not really open to it?
No, not that they're not open to it, but even whatever we wear, it's a bit conservative, you know?
Okay, I feel
you will hardly see something completely, you know?
I think it's very important to preserve our culture and our traditions, and I think you're doing such an amazing and incredible job to make it cool. Because youth like us, you know, we want something unique, something cool. And I think you're bringing that on the table, show that, okay, you can actually wear these traditional clothes, but you can look beautiful, amazing. So it's such an encouragement. And I hope, I mean, I'll share some pictures you guys to see what, you know, they're doing. It's amazing.
How many days did you come to the event? I know I saw you on one of the days, but you came on the opening, right?
I came at the opening, and I loved your speech.
Oh, you know, really? It was so long. I was so nervous. You didn't see that? I was shaking.
I remember you saying that, you know, I didn't memorize my speech, so I'm just going to read.
Yeah.
But that's when I was like, I really need to find an opportunity to meet, to interview the gift. But I didn't know that I didn't know that I'm actually working with someone who is your, you know, younger brother.
Yeah.
And that day when I came there, he already texted me.
Oh, he did.
And he was like, hey, but I didn't see it. So I came with Ars TV. Later when I go back, I saw the message. I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, I gotta go back there. But I really love your speech because you mentioned something about Africa and uniting Africa, you know, through fashion. And then you gave some data with people that you work with, and I was amazed. I was like, one of our goals is we want to go to every country in Africa, right? Each country in Africa to connect with people and to spread this message of, you know, unity, right? Oneness, that we don't have to be, when we say one Africa, it doesn't mean that we have to assimilate, but us just acknowledging what we have in common.
Absolutely. That was basically with the fashion. That was the whole idea.
Exactly.
Is just bringing, and believe me, some of the designers have stayed friends. Some of them are sourcing from Ethiopia, whether it's leather or fabric. So it's making that connection within the continent also. So throughout the years, I've seen, you know,
transformation.
Yes, absolutely.
You gave me a new idea during that day because I never thought about one Africa in that sense. But that day when I got there, you opened up my eyes, and I was like, oh, there's actually fashion, something that nobody's going to say no to fashion.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like whether it's old or young, everybody will be like yes. And I was like, wow, this is a beauty. Maybe there will be a way of partnering and collaborating, you know, in the near future. You know, when we, because you're still thinking about going to other countries. So when we tour, maybe we can.
We're thinking about it. Maybe
regionally,
together, you know, even Rwanda is becoming really big within their industry. I was also there for an event in 2019.
Yeah.
So there are amazing, amazing designers in Rwanda as well. So yeah, that's definitely growing. I see a lot of change.
Yeah.
And you know, with the, I mean, we hear it, the Africa Free Continental Trade Agreement, which is opening up trading within the continent.
Yes, yes.
I really don't know if everybody truly understands what that means and how do we do that. I mean, yes, it's there, but now we have to start looking into that. Exactly. And I'll give you a good example. One of our hair and makeup stylist, Soretti Wellness and Spa, just opened up a Soretti in Kenya.
Wow.
So you see?
That's beautiful. Like
yes.
Free trade, right?
So she's opening up, she has one here, she's opening up in Kenya. It's just the whole industry. It could be cosmetic industry.
Yeah.
We have one now here, Blame Beauty, Hela's Beauty, hers also Kandeke. So I would love to see more of that also becoming a continental, you know what I mean? Made by Africans for Africans.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, I like that. Come on, give me some.
I love it. Yeah. So I see the whole, you know, it's not just fashion, but everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
Definitely growing for sure.
Yeah.
So it's really only bright things from here on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the gift, I want to appreciate.
I like how you're calling.
You're truly the gift from God. You know what I'm saying? Because we needed something like this. Like,
thank you.
And you started 2010. You know, and I believe there's a lot of people watching, a lot of people learning, and a lot of people they're actually starting something, you know, like that, like a little, you know, duplication of what you're doing, because I believe you inspire a lot of people. I came there just one day and I was already inspired. I was like, we got to do something about this. And I didn't even know you then. So I believe what you're doing is very important, you know, for the continent. If nobody has ever thanked you, let me say thank you for your service.
Thank you so much.
One Africa, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys for having me for sure.